Yes.
You do understand that as a believer, I am more prosecuted and judged, and I find myself to be more prosecuted and judged.
You mean persecuted?
Yes, and judged than a non-believer.
Well, how do you say that?
Because you have to live by a different standard.
Do you realize that as a non-believer, I am compelled to acknowledge your God every time I am in public and they say the Pledge of Allegiance?
You are not compelled to acknowledge
Either
anything.
that or I'm outcast.
No.
Either that or my loyalty to my society is questioned.
Is there any way to talk to you without you interrupting me? Is that hard? I mean, as like speaking as equals?
I'll be happy to speak as you.
Okay, so can I please finish what I'm saying?
Sure.
Alright, you're not compelled at all to acknowledge any God. It is your choice.
I'm in a group of 100 people and they're saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
And
I'm either going to say it with them in entirety
or you
or
can
I'm
skip
not.
the word if you feel like it.
Right.
That's the freedom of America.
No, the freedom of America would not require in a public ceremony for me to acknowledge God.
So then are you saying banish God altogether?
No, I'm saying that the Pledge of Allegiance ought to be a universal statement that all citizens can agree to equally.
Okay, but not all people can agree because this isn't a utopia.
Okay, so drop it out. Drop out under God. It wasn't in there originally. It was only put in there in the 50s as a response to the Cold War.
And why? Tell me, why does it offend you so much that it's in there?
It's
what
one of the
about
things.
It bothers you?
Because there is no God. There's no evidence for a God.
Okay.
And people who believe in a God tend to be irrational.
But I'm not bothered by Buddha, and I'm not bothered by people who don't believe in God.
But you don't have to say one nation under Buddha.
Okay. Nobody forced my hand, exactly. And if it said one nation under Buddha, do you think I would say under Buddha?
Excuse me?
Do you think I would say under Buddha?
Well, that would be your decision. The point is you'd be alienated from your society unless you did. So I understand. I imagine you get persecuted for being a Christian.
Sure.
All right? The point is whether or not you have a reasonable defense for your ideas.
Why should I have to defend something that I believe?
No, you don't. If you project an idea, it happens that the hero of your faith,
Yes.
Jesus,
Sure.
is King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Yes, he is.
Okay, that requires you to put forward evidence.
Yes, it does.
Yes. So what's your evidence?
The Bible.
Oh, and how do you know the Bible's true?
Because it was written. It's an actual document.
Well, so is the Quran.
Okay, and?
And so how do you know the Bible's true and the Quran's not?
I never said that the Quran's not. Have
Well,
I
they
read
can't
the
be.
Quran?
They're in contradiction.
Okay, well, I haven't read both of them.
Okay, so one's right, one's wrong. How do you know yours is right and theirs is wrong?
I like how you turn this into black and white.
Well, it's either right or it's wrong. It's either true or it's false. What else would it be?
It just takes a lot of research and studying to...
And what's your research?
I don't have any.
You don't have any evidence for believing Jesus is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, nonetheless you call him that.
I have faith, though.
Oh, you have faith?
Yes.
All believers have faith.
All non-believers have faith, too.
No.
They don't believe in anything. That is a belief in something.
Believing in nothing is a belief in something.
If you're believing it, you're living it.
Well, how about if we call it a conclusion? How about if we say, I see no evidence to believe in any God I've ever heard of.
That is your conclusion.
And you say that about every God but one, I presume. You don't believe in Thor, Zeus, or any of the other thousands of deities that I could name.
Okay.
And there were many people at one time or another who really believed in those things. They built temples, made sacrifices, all that stuff. Gave a lot of money. Yeah, they built their, yeah. I mean, you got pyramids and all kinds of crazy things that litter ancient worlds showing devotion to deities. All right? They were wrong. How do you know you're right and they're wrong without reason?
How do you know you're right and I'm wrong?
You're the one with the faith.
And you're the one without.
You're the one with the assertion. You're the one with the assertion that your hero, Jesus, is King of Kings, Lord of Lords.
But I asked you a question.
Go ahead.
You answered my question with a question.
That's right. Go ahead. Give me the question again.
So.
I already know my view. I want to know yours. Tell me, go ahead, give me the question again.
So why do you believe in what you believe in?
Because it's presented by reason.
Okay.
Reason tells me that if an idea cannot, that the burden of proof is on the assertion. If I assert that that car is red,
then it is red.
Then I have to have evidence that it's red.
Okay.
If I go to England and say I'm king of England, all right, people have to ask me for evidence that I'm king of England.
Okay.
If I can't produce any, they just laugh. You are coming into our society as a Christian and saying the hero of my religion is King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and one day he's going to destroy this world and make it his way. That obligates you logically, if not legally, whatever, that obligates you logically to present a rational case.
What would it have to do with being legal, though?
Excuse me?
Well, you said
because Christians in our society are asserting authority in the name of their faith. If they weren't doing that, they wouldn't be obligated to evidence.
Are you talking about Parliament and Congress?
In America, yeah, Congress. They're trying to make, well, first off, they persecuted homosexuals for our whole national existence.
Well, that was even before America, though. That happened in Europe, too.
Right, but that was religiously based.
Okay.
Okay, so that's an example of religion having a negative impact on society. Because when people are irrational, they end up doing some pretty horrible things.
True, very true.
Okay, so the idea is that, and this is what America was founded on, as a matter of fact. It was founded by enlightened men like Thomas Paine and Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson. All right, the idea is if you apply reason to society rather than religion, you'll get better outcomes. That was the idea. So I've got 200 years of solid progress of science. The world changed dramatically around the year 1800. Because before the year 1800, there was 1 billion people. Now there are nearly 6-7 billion. All right. Why is that? It's that way because in 1800, if you were sick, you were better off staying home. The doctor was just as likely to kill you as whatever you had. But when doctors started applying science to medicine, as opposed to all these quacks around here, all right, people got better.
Okay, that's understandable.
When we got germ theory, which the Bible didn't give us, so you got Moses giving all these health laws, and Moses doesn't say there's these itty bitty animals, they're called germs, and some of them will kill you, so you got to wash your hands and all that stuff. All right, he didn't tell people that. I guess God didn't bother to tell him. But anyway, once we discovered germs and knew how to deal with germs, then people started living a lot longer. And then we learned how to do surgery, and on and on and on. And all that happened because of a spirit of skepticism rather than a spirit of faith. The skeptic would say, the person making the assertion has to provide the evidence. And so skepticism led to enlightenment. And enlightenment led to science, and science led to technology. And now I got a $300 or $250 HD camera and an internet. And all that happened because people said, we're going to start going by reason rather than faith. So I have 200 years of human experience wherein reason was applied that changed human existence.
Okay, but religion isn't based on those sort of things. It's based on love, and isn't love unsensible?
No. It's perfectly sensible for people to love each other.
And it can be stupid sometimes, and people can do crazy things.
Sure.
Yeah.
Would you rather love rationally or irrationally?
I would rather love truthfully, honestly.
Okay. So, all right, just suppose I was in love with you. All right?